Hello there and welcome. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the new patch for F1 Manager, the 1.6 patch. We'll go through the patch notes, take a look at what they actually mean, give my thoughts on the changes, so to speak, and we'll see exactly what has changed with the game. So with that, let's just jump straight into it. So the initial changes here are based on mentality. Rebalanced probably does sound like they've rebalanced mentality, but the reality is they've just rebalanced the impact and duration of events on mentality. So no real changes here, just the events themselves giving boosts or debuffs to the mentality has been changed. Fixed overall mentality rating, not always refreshing immediately after changes. Fixed mentality courses being displayed inconsistently between profile and mentality hub. And fixed an issue where mentoring showed as mentality factor when no affiliates were present. So basically, mentality has just gotten a little bit of a fix to how their events works, as well as some Q&A fixes to make it show up properly as soon as possible. Next up, drivers. We've added 4 new affiliate drivers, Hamda and Amna Al-Kabazi. Sorry if I butchered that. Emily the House, Tuka Tapanen, and they've also corrected the spelling of Franco Colapinto. Currently, there is a bug in the game where these guys show up without any names, and the images could be a little bit low res, but I assume that's going to be fixed very, very soon. Next up, we're going to go over car development, where they have adjusted the AI team's starting expertise, and they've also adjusted the AI team's starting car ratings. Both of these will require a new save file to see, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But basically, they've kind of adjusted things so that everything is quite a bit closer. You don't have those huge gaps between car performance anymore. And the easiest way that we can actually take a look at that is by just quickly comparing on the left, level 1 car. That would be your previous lowest rated created team car. The middle one is your current lowest rated created team car. And on the right, we have a comparison to the current Kick Sauber. Keep in mind that Sauber were not up far ahead of the level 1 car to begin with. But as you can imagine, just looking at the numbers here and the massive boost that the lowest starting point car has received compared to the one on the left, and if we then compare it to, say, Red Bull here, you can kind of get the idea that the cars have been brought quite a lot closer, and that's going to help with making the gap between the cars a little bit less wide, and also keeps the AI more competitive when it comes to fighting against each other. So honestly, a good change. I like to see it. Next up, we have the improved balance of AI car development. And while I've seen some interesting stuff with that, you can still out-develop the AI to a certain degree. So while it is more difficult, the AI probably still needs a little bit more work in that department, which we'll go over in a little bit as well. Improved mechanical fault balance for powertrain parts in good condition. Previously, you'd see a lot of past 80, 60% kind of developed faults. In the 2 seasons that I've done to test it a little bit, I've only seen parts start developing permanent faults when they hit the 50 to 55% range. So they've definitely toned that down a little bit. Fixed an inaccurate ERS durability rating on car analysis screen. Good fix. Fixed inconsistent display of powertrain percentages. Also nice fix. And fixed development options being disabled when following emailing. Basically, when you want to do something, sometimes it would be, grayed out. You'd have to click off and click on it again. And that too is a very nice fix for quality of life. Now, in terms of how the AI spends their money, it hasn't really changed too much here. There's a couple outliers, but if we take a look at the new patch in the first season, you can see that they spend about 30 million across the board in designs. We did the same. We spent a little bit less in terms of research than the rest of the others. That is due to the fact that the research was just for front and rear wing. That's the only thing they got hit by a regulation change. But the AI is still doing basically around 1/3 of their money goes into research, 2/3 goes into designs, and it for the most part follows that rule, but it's a little bit of a more uneven one here in the big regulation change season. And honestly, they're still not spending any more than just 1/3, if they are even spending that, and that is still a bit of a concern here in, again, this big regulation change season. In 1.6 as well, you are going to have to limit yourself here in order to not overtake the AI in this by doing too much research, basically, which is honestly what I ended up doing. Now, if we look at pre 1.6, this is from 1.5, you can see that the AI were far more uniform in their spending. They kind of just did the same thing, all of them, both in 24 and 25. And as I mentioned, in particularly here in 25 and kind of in 24 as well, there's a little bit difference in how they're spending their money, which of course is somewhat concerning. But again, I would have loved to see them kind of flip this around in season 25, where they spend just 2/3 on research, 1/3 on design. That might just be me. But yeah, so far, doesn't seem like the rebalancing has done much other than just change the starting points, bringing that expertise window maybe a little bit, making that expertise window a little bit smaller. And what I mean by this is, if we go back to the game here, take a quick look. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the starting point now has been brought up by a lot. So all the teams now are more competitive from the get-go. And because of that, I would assume that maybe the expertise window, maybe from 0 to 100, has smaller differences in performance. Basically, you could outperform other teams in 1.5 a little bit more, maybe, I assume. But this is just a theory. In general, though, the fact that you have a more equal starting point is going to make things more competitive, at least in the first couple of seasons. But again, you're still probably going to have to limit yourself going from the third season onwards. I'm still going to have to test and see if the theory that I have is actual the case. Probably not going to be, to be fair. It could just be the more equal starting point is making it seem that way, which honestly is probably what's happening. Next up, we're going to go over staff, contracts, and hiring. Fixed scouts or engineers remaining unavailable to use after sponsorship engagement activity has expired. Basically, you're now getting your scouts and your engineers back. There's also been a different change to scouts where you don't actually need to scout someone to see how long they have left on their contract, which should make signing new drivers and also staff a lot easier. Fixed issue where affiliates signed in first season could not drive in FB1 in future seasons. It was a bug. It has been confirmed. So it wasn't just straight up that the drivers would be driving F2 or F3. It's straight up a bug that they couldn't drive in FP1 in the following seasons. Fixed issue where contract could not be renegotiated from staff profile screen after acknowledging contract email. Fixed contract length being displayed as 1 year longer than it should in emails. Fixed previous offer bonus threshold being displayed incorrectly. Fixed free agent contract showing empty season contract state. Fixed AI hide driver future season scouting information being listed as expired. Improve the AI poaching logic and improve the AI affiliate hiring logic. So I have seen, I guess, slight improvements in both of these. So I'm looking forward to testing it a little bit more. But the AI is definitely going a little bit better with staff hiring of drivers. We're not seeing as terrible moves as we did previously. I'll say that. And a lot of this is good quality of life fixes. Now, sponsorship and finance. Fixed newly created teams spending more money on initial startup than real teams. Basically, now in your first season of created team, you have just as much money as any other team in that first year cost cap. Was not a feature. They've at least gotten rid of it if it was. Fixed engagement target payouts not being received in second season, so that was for sure a bug. Fixed some sponsor activities providing no engagement gains during first sponsor period of second season. Improved AI financial decision making. Fixed AI teams offering extreme salaries and starting bonuses. Improved accuracy of car development finances area in cost cap. Restyle the icons on the sponsor plan screen. They actually look fairly decent. Improved balance on sponsors' preferred activities. Fixed sponsor logos disappearing from UI when saving or loading on data negotiation. Improved balance of factors contributing to team marketability. Fixed balance sponsor packaging, having raised the icon and coloring during negotiations. So a lot of these fixes are really nice. They have done a fix where they kind of changed the icons for the sponsor plans and also the sponsor negotiations as a whole. The AI financial decision making is still a little bit questionable at times, but I would think they're a little bit better. Yet to see Haas going to depth, but Mercedes did instead, so we'll have to see if that one is actually going to work as intended. Create team, fixed create team decal options list, missing icons in library editor, fixed team branding showroom lightning level, darkening when re-entering, improved ease of sponsor decal placement on driver gloves, fixed delay to sponsor logos appearing on negotiation screens in create team mode, fixed create team garage appearing with Ferrari branding at the Gas Marina, fixed placement of driver's feet on livery podium. So just a lot of quality of life fixes, which is really, really nice. Race weekend, reduced lifetime delta between slowest and fastest cars in managed races. Fixed powertrain penalties being applied in sprint session when you fit new parts. Fixed high compounds allocation at Albert Park and Mexico. Improve balance of incidents at Jeddah, improve balance of starting engine temperatures, fix car retirement replays showing no or incorrect car when selected, adjusted some DRS zone placements, fix the grandstands at Jeddah, added nighttime icons in weekend overview menu. It's actually pretty neat. It now shows you if you have a nighttime race. Fixed every pit stop on post race report screen being highlighted as a positive. It will now show you your best and your worst stops. Fixed sprint qualifying results being empty when loading save made on sprint preparation screen. I haven't seen this one myself, but again, a lot of this is just very nice quality of life changes that I do appreciate. Fixed driver preparation goal progress and value in bar not matching. Added the ability to minimize driver panels during a race. So you can actually now... So just to kind of showcase what those last two were, you now have a little arrow here that if you click down, you will be hiding your driver's information. And that one is toggleable back up and down as you see fit. And also now we can hide the UI. Now when we hide the UI, basically makes it very, very good for taking screenshots, of course. You still have the show UI key down here, unfortunately, and you'll have a logo in the top left corner. But apart from this, this is a very, very good feature if you want to take screenshots of your races. Other than that, they fixed some pixelated shadows at Sandvert, the floating steward at Yas Marina, misplaced shadowing at Bahrain, some overly dark lighting that could occur after loading mid-session saves. Medical car also now comes with a doctor. Other than that, the majority of the fixes here are quality of life fixes. Howard now stops Howard calling everyone Pierre. Incorrect reference to Piastri finishing 19th. Frequency balance of driver has DRS team com. Incorrect voice lines when loading into Australian GP. Fixed onboard engine sounds braking when saving game wheels in Hellcam. Fixed a couple of incorrect voice allocations for drivers and engineers. Fixed a number of issues with incorrect driver names being used in certain conversations. Fixed a number of other teams' comms issues causing incorrect lines to trigger. Adjust difficulty ratings for some race replays. Fixed driver podium positioning displaying as identified. Fixed Monaco, race moment, race duration, and fixed race replay loading incorrect constructor. Fixed drivers inheriting race results from career save in race replay mode, and a bunch of stability fixes too. Fixed the issue where cars could freeze on track. Fixed the crash that occur during processing. And fixed the crash that could occur when advancing into second season. So, as well as the crash that could occur during a red flag. Crash that could occur when selecting to watch a crash replay involving multiple cars and an affiliate driver. Fixed crash that could occur when backing out of sponsorship screen into finances. Fixed a soft lock that could occur when interacting with Steam Overlay during race cinematics. Improve the overall game processing speed. I haven't actually seen this one, to be fair. It feels the game runs a bit slower. Could just be that I need to update my drivers. But this one here has not really worked out for me. Let me know if the overall game processing speed has worked out positively for you. Added traditional Chinese translated text. That is basically it for the patch notes here. In general, though, I'm looking forward to investigating more with the car development. The adjusted starting points does make longer saves now a little bit more viable, but again, keep in mind, you're still going to probably end up dominating going into your third year, and I can kind of show you that. And here you have it, the example of just how quickly you can still make a good car with the correct research. We aren't that far ahead of the other cars. We have kind of lost out here in DRS effectiveness, cooling, and of course dirty air tolerance because we don't focus on them. And, well, we do focus on engine cooling, but DRS and dirty air, not as much. McLaren was the winner last year, and we have a fairly healthy lead on them. It's not major, it's actually less than I would have expected. And if we compare to, say, Red Bull, they are actually, well, tiny bit closer than what McLaren is. So it's still going to be a little bit more competitive here, to be fair. But honestly, you are still going to have to limit yourself somewhat if you want to have a interesting game past the third season. I'd probably still go with try and limit yourself to just one slider maximized, one slider minimized, for instance. If you want to go full on research, maybe limit yourself to just doing that same balance research, but you'll end up doing more. As you can see, if we spent 30 million, they spent between 10 and 15, so we still did twice the amount of research that every other team did. So keep that in mind. The changes are good. The field is closer. There's no more double lapped on the first race, but it still could probably need a little bit of work here. So don't go full on meta if you're planning to go for a longer race. Maybe try and limit yourself to not having any parts go into the negative while designing them, while doing research, things like that. Yeah, those were the patch notes. Those were what I had to say about them. Hope you got the answers you were looking for. If not, ask me in the comments and I'll do my best to respond, probably in either the morning or the evening when I have time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.